Well, let's get you the latest on EU reactions. France 24's Dave Keating is standing by for us in Brussels. Dave, growing calls then from some countries, it has to be said, for a coordinated response from the EU when it comes to travellers from China. What more can you tell us?
Well, this is a real test about whether the EU learned lessons from the early stages of the pandemic in 2020 when different EU countries had such a disjointed response. And this is really a test for the new bodies, the new committees that were formed during the pandemic to get ready for the next one. So yesterday we had a meeting here in Brussels of the EU Health Security Committee. That was inconclusive. That was basically to figure out if they wanted to do an EU-wide requirement to test passengers from China. It is problematic that Spain and Italy are going ahead with this on their own because in essence, countries should have one EU policy for testing incoming travelers. It's a bit of a gray area there, but certainly for a ban, if any country wanted to actually ban travelers coming in from China, that cannot be done at a national level. With the EU's Schengen area, which is a passport-free common travel area, it needs to be done at EU level because, if Italy bans Chinese travelers from coming into Italy, they can just fly to Nice airport and hop over the border. It would be like New York State banning travelers from China. They could just fly to Newark Airport in New Jersey and hop over. So I'm told that we're going to have a meeting of the Council's Integrated Political Crisis Response Mechanism next week, and there they're going to try to get some kind of common understanding about what to do about travelers from China. Stella Kyriakides, the EU Health Commissioner, wrote a letter to countries last night saying this was an evolving situation, suggesting that more action will be taken, and she stressed the importance of genomic surveillance and wastewater analysis to watch for new variants. That's what they're most concerned about. They just want to make sure that they are testing and watching for any possible new variant that could spell trouble for Europe.
I mean, Dave, just briefly for us, as we understand it, not all of the COVID-19 experts in Europe agree that this is going to be productive, once again, calling for tests or vaccination for Chinese travellers.
Yeah, that's true. The EU CDC has said, look, again, just like they were saying in the first part of the pandemic, border closures don't work. They only work in the very first days of an outbreak, and we're already beyond that in terms of the increase in China. Now, the good news is the EU CDC says it's very unlikely that a new variant could develop with all these new cases in China and travel here. That's because China is so far behind in terms of its infection level there. Their infections have been very low. So far, there has been no sign of a new variant. And Europeans are very highly vaccinated. So the EU CDC is telling us that at this stage, there is no reason to worry. But of course, EU governments want to be prepared.
All right, Dave, in Brussels for us. Thank you.